A crisp 8 degrees down here at the Cruising Yacht Club of Australia, not many hours ahead of the start of the Noakes Sydney Gold Coast race. And we've just come out of the weather briefing. Reminds me a little bit of some of the Irish forecasts I remember in my youth in the 1970s. A little bit of everything and not much of each of those. It's going to be light. No surprises there. I think most of us knew that was going to be the case. Basically out of the southwest, maybe around 6 knots at the start of the race, and not much more for the first night. Gradually easing round into the north, probably at the maximum by the time we're up the coast a bit, about 10 to 15 knots. But that's probably max. Some sun, a few showers, maybe even some thunderstorms later in the race. As I said, a little of everything. It's going to be cold. Anybody who's done this race before, and I well remember my first Gold Coast race in this sort of weather pattern with a high hanging over this part of Australia, the nights are really cold. And it's also going to really test the tacticians and navigators who are not going to get much rest. In these light airs, you've got a south-going current as well. You basically spend much of your life further up the coast, literally ducking in and out of the various bays, past the headlands, straight back in to avoid the current. And if I recall as well, you need to be pretty careful you don't get caught in the surf break as well, so you're watching your depth sounder pretty closely there. Going to be an interesting race, going to be a very long race for the back-enders. They could be well into the early part of the week before they get there. And a bit of a challenge too, even for the Supermaxis, particularly for Andu Comanche, who's going to be a bit sticky in the first part of the race, but might come good in the latter part. In amongst all of that, perhaps the most highlight came out of after the forecast was that for those that are feeling like they still need something to do in the middle of the night, 12 o'clock, couple of evenings, there's going to be meteor showers. That's going to be interesting. So lots to see ahead, and we'll see you out on the water.